Here we are. How's everybody doing tonight? I have I don't know where this all went. There it goes. All right. Just back from the birthday party there, the owner's birthday party at cheerleaders. A little bit crazy, but it is what it is. I was going to do the show from there, but there was about 8,000 guys in there. It was kind of a sausage fest. So decided to just come back home and do it. We're on the eve of the quarterfinals here. Friday, Croatia, Brazil, Netherlands, Argentina, the second game. Saturday, Morocco, Portugal, England, France, the second game. Which one are you looking forward to the most there, Amedeus?
Well, if I had to pick one, probably the Netherlands and Argentina. I got my futures bet on the Netherlands, so I'm hoping that they can pull through.
It's an interesting game, I think. I was talking about this earlier. I think of the four games, I don't really see Croatia giving Brazil. I think Croatia is probably out of gas at this point. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but they're pretty old and they're leggy. They were leggy in that game against Japan. They just about won that game. Morocco, I think, is a great story at this point, but I don't think they're beating Portugal. And England, France is basically a toss-up, but I think France. I think France should win, but I think England win. The game that I think could go the distance, maybe 120 minutes, is that Netherlands-Argentina game. I think both teams can score. They're kind of mirror images of each other. I think that's probably the best game of the four. Just looking at it, and probably I just think Croatia, Brazil, Morocco, Portugal could be pretty straightforward, if it is. But everyone's just kind of penciling Argentina into this semifinals here, and I don't know. This Netherlands team is pretty good.
Yeah, I don't understand the Argentina. From what I've seen, they haven't shown me World Cup winning soccer the way they've been playing. They have a lot of defensive flaws, I've noticed. And I think that's something that's going to come back and bite them. Like they got up 2 goals, even in just the last round alone. They got up 2 goals against Australia, took their foot off the gas a bit. They let Australia get one back. And then the entire last 10 minutes, they were getting pressured by Australia and almost coughed up that lead. So definitely some vulnerabilities on the defensive side for Argentina.
I don't understand. I mean, look, I'm a Manchester United fan. I'm going to come at this as a fan of them. But Lisandro Martinez has been Manchester United's best player, arguably, outside of maybe Casemiro since he's come in. I mean, he's just been unbelievable for United. And I just, they got these guys playing Romero and Otamendi, and they always have a mistake in them. And I just, like you said, with this defense, I don't know. I mean, I know Martinez is a little bit smaller, but I just think I just don't understand why he doesn't get more game time. But we'll kind of see what goes with that.
The way this World Cup has gone, it's very clear that the young, fast teams are the ones that are thriving. These older, slower teams, we saw Belgium go out in the group stage. Obviously Germany has got some old. They have some young talent too, but I don't know. I've noticed just the fast teams. It's the teams with a lot of pace. The young teams, they're the ones doing well.
That's why I think I think Croatia has no chance against Brazil. People were asking me about that. I know Croatia made the final this time, and they every time they play, 7 of the last 8, has gone the distance. Penalties, extra time, blah blah blah. I just, Japan outplayed them, and they just, they got through. But Brazil's not gonna. They're not doing the same thing against Brazil. Brazil's going to run at them. They're young. Their attack is young. I mean, they're going to be flying all over the place. Brazil has actually a pretty good mix of young, middle-aged guys and like older guys. Middle-aged for football, obviously. But I just I don't give Croatia much of a chance in that game. I think Brazil wins that pretty easily. I've been giving out Brazil -1.5. Basically at +100 on the money line there to anybody that'll listen. This is 2-0, 3-0. I don't think this is a game. I respect what Croatia has done because they haven't they weren't great in the group stage, but they got to this point. But I think at this point now the only time in this run in all these games that they've gone to extra time they faced a team like this Brazil was against France in the final, and France was 4-1 with 10 minutes to go. They ran them off the pitch, so I don't see this being much of a game.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you say the respect thing about them being the runner up, because that's all I've heard with people backing this Croatia team is they were the runner up, but 4 years makes a big difference, and these guys were already like in their early 30s 4 years ago.
That's 4.5 years really, because
yeah,
it's not even it's an extra half a year, which these guys are old.
That's what I mean. Those 4 years did not help Croatia in any way. And like, if you want a perfect example, look at the Brazil team from the last World Cup. Barely any of the same players on the same team. It was all older team. And, obviously we know how that one ended for Brazil, but this team is just too good. You look at the names on the bench, you look at the names in the starting lineup. Even if they got to sub some bench guys in there, there's no flaws in this line. It looks like, and they absolutely steamrolled in their match. Like, they won that match in 30 minutes. And honestly, because South Korea only scored the one goal, that's what I was going to say. They basically won it in 10 when Neymar put the penalty kick in. So
yeah, the 2-0 against this team. That's the thing. I mean, if Brazil gets an early goal, Croatia has no chance because they're going to have to come out and play, and then Brazil just annihilate them on the counter. The only way this game, I think the only way Croatia has a chance in this is if they, maybe get it to extra time. I mean, they'd have to keep Brazil scoreless. I just don't see it. It's the same kind of thing I see with Morocco and Portugal. It's the same kind of game plan. Like, I think Morocco's a little bit more equipped to maybe do that. I still don't think they're going to, but at least they're a little more equipped to do it. But this Brazil game, I -1.5. I love it. The goal scorers, right before the game, I was looking at it and I was like, I like Vinicius, but then I was like, man, if they get a penalty, probably Neymar takes it, but Richarlison. I was like, so I put a little bit on each one. And they were all, they're all plus money. I mean, it's the same odds. Neymar +120, Richarlison +165, Vinicius +220. I mean, those are crazy odds. If they score 2 or 3 goals, 2 of those guys at minimum is going to be scoring them. You're getting plus money for each of them. So I just think there's an opportunity to make some money in this game tomorrow.
Oh yeah, there's definitely that's what I was saying about this Brazil team. You don't even know who to bet on for any time goal scorer, because the goals could come from anywhere.
Paqueta had one last time. Yeah, Lucas Paqueta had one last time at +510. Casemiro at +650 is kind of crazy odds. Marquinhos pops up with the goal every once in a while. Yeah, no, it's just. Look at the Croatia. The best guy is Kramaric at +550, Perisic +650. Like, come on, they don't expect this team to score here. That's why I saw Sports Mode pick 2-1, and I was like 2-1. Like, Croatia's not scoring. It's going to be closer to 3-0 than 2-1 to me. I don't know. I mean, I just Croatia struggled to score in the group stage. I don't know where they're getting a goal. They didn't score in the last round. So I don't know where they're getting a goal from. And you have to score to beat Brazil here.
Yeah, well, I think you pegged it perfect earlier, because I was thinking the exact thing. Croatia would have to pull off a Morocco if they want to get through Brazil here. And, frankly, I don't see them holding Brazil to 0-0 for 120 minutes. It seems outrageous. And even the way Morocco played, like they barely got that game to 120 minutes with Spain, and that's why I agree with you. I don't know if they can do it again against Portugal. Portugal, finally, you got your wish. They sat Ronaldo, and
Look what happened.
my God, did they look fast and did they look damn good on attack? That Gonzalo Ramos is something else, man. Three more goals than Ronaldo has in the knockout stage of their career.
United was in for him too, man. He's a big time guy. Hey,
and they probably love him because he's the local Portugal boy, right? He plays for Benfica, so he actually is the local boy.
That's why they binned off Nunez to Liverpool for 100 million, because they knew this kid was coming up after him. So, it is. They didn't care. I mean,
they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they knew this kid's better. That's the crazy thing. But yeah,
that first goal was ridiculous, unbelievable.
And the second game tomorrow, like you said, Netherlands, Argentina. Netherlands plus 260, Argentina plus 125. Bill was on earlier on the show, and to me, I mean, if you're gonna back a team here, just the money line and the game, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the values, I think these teams are dead even. The value is probably with Netherlands, and the goal score is crazy. Gakpo plus 410. I know he didn't score last game, but we had 3 in the other stage. This Argentina team, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Julian Alvarez as well at plus 270. Lautaro Martinez stinks. He's terrible. Don't bet him. But this, I don't think they're keeping a clean sheet here. Sportsmall actually had 2-2 going to extra time and penalties, but I think there's goals in this game, which is makes the under 2.5 is minus 175. I don't know. I mean, I just think there's going to be some. I don't think either team can keep a clean sheet, to be honest, if they're both playing well. So, I would probably kind of look and say, you know what? Maybe I'll take a chance on Netherlands at plus 260. I know you have them in the future, so you probably just ride with that, right?
Yeah, I just I'm going to enjoy the game. I hope the Netherlands gets it done. I think they can do it just because they're good enough defensively. I think that they'll really frustrate Argentina, and I think Argentina's flaws on defense is going to be their downfall in this game.
Look, I mean, if Lisandro Martinez doesn't play, and I don't know. I just, once again, I think Christian Romero and Nicolas Otamendi are a little bit suspect. They haven't played great. I know Rodrigo de Paul played pretty well in the second half, but he hasn't been great in this tournament. So I wouldn't be stunned. If I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, if I was a conspiracy theorist and I thought about this tournament, my final would be Argentina, Portugal, because you got Messi and Ronaldo.
Someone's got to win it,
and someone's got to win the World Cup and then retire. And I said, because the path is there. And I said, man, that's not actually that far away. Because actually, Argentina, when they played Brazil, I mean, they beat them in that final, the Copa America. And I wouldn't be stunned if Portugal made a final. I still think France is going to go, but I wouldn't be stunned that the way Portugal played the other day without him. So I thought about that, and I said, yeah, you know what? But then I figured, Brazil beat them. There's no such thing as conspiracy theories in soccer and fiction.
You know what? Portugal played Uruguay in the group stage 4 years after they were knocked out by them in the round of 16. That's a little weird. Switzerland and Brazil got put in the same group again. Weird things happen in these sports, but
yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think there's going to be. I think it could be. I don't know. I just that game is to me. I would probably not wager on that game. To me, that's the toughest game to pick of the four. I think Brazil wins easily, -1.5. Portugal, Morocco, we'll talk about in a second. Portugal, I think now the line is down to -143, which once again is crazy to me. And then, France, England, which looks like to me that, on paper could be the best game or the toughest game to call. To me, I just think France is a better team. But, Morocco, Portugal, people are saying, they were asking earlier about Morocco to get the game to extra time. Morocco keep a clean sheet, and Morocco win to nil is +750. I think Portugal where is it? Portugal under half a goal is +350. I mean, I can't imagine that they're going to go back to Ronaldo. I would imagine that they play the same lineup that started the other game and just absolutely annihilated Switzerland as a -110. Slight favorite there. I can't imagine it, but who knows? I mean, Ronaldo could talk his way in, but if Portugal plays the same lineup, I don't see how. I think the Morocco run they've done well to get, but they can't win the tournament playing like that. You got to score some goals. I don't know, like who's gonna if Portugal scores 2 goals, how is Morocco going to compete in this game?
They need to get lucky on 2 set pieces.
Get a penalty or something like that.
That would be the only way, though, right? And I find it interesting you bring up the conspiracy theory about Portugal and Spain, because I said it on the show with Jim yesterday. But when I was watching that Spain Morocco game, I was watching it with my girlfriend, and I was telling her that if Morocco kicks out Spain, it'll be the best thing for Portugal, because every time Portugal plays Spain, I don't know, Spain always comes to kick their ass, and I don't know what it is about Portugal where they can't seem to beat the Spain team. So I was watching that. I was like, if Morocco gets out of this, that'll be the best thing for Portugal, because then they have a pretty clear path.
Sometimes you just, it's just weird with. I talk about this with North Carolina, who stinks, but whatever. Last year they made the final. People were like, 8 seed, but sometimes it's like you just get a path. Someone gets beat, or someone, my seed, the way we are, this is a tough path, but you just don't know, when it's set, when the bracket is set. And then by the time you get to that point, Morocco gets beat. I don't know. I think, if England beats France, I think that's probably better for Portugal. To be honest, I think France matches up better against Portugal. I think Portugal could probably beat England, but maybe if England wins, they might just get a path and get to the final. You just don't know. But this is, clearly for Portugal a more an easier game than Spain would be. That Spain game, like you said, they just want to hold the ball and pass it at mid pitch and just ticky tacky to death. It was crazy watching that. Like Morocco was never even concerned. I don't even remember Spain like threatening the goal. And that guy Ehrenbach just cleared up everything. It was crazy.
That's what I mean. It was like, Spain had over 1,000 passes in the match. They couldn't even get anywhere close to the net.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Portugal here -143. If this line keeps dropping, that's the greatest thing in the world for me. Cristiano Ronaldo, they still have at +180 to score. They have Ramos at +210. Felix at
to be fair, Ronaldo was +165 to score in the last match after they had announced he was being benched. He was still +165 up to kickoff because they thought he was going to come on as a sub.
Because people don't pay attention. They just know Ronaldo and they just throw that stuff down. They probably get like however many thousands of dollars in bets on people just like saying, "Oh, Ronaldo, that's the only name I know." But yeah, look, I mean, Ramos at +210 is interesting there after the hat trick. And he's clearly on for the Golden Boot at this point.
Actually, you know what? FanDuel's offering something where if you pick someone to score a goal in any of these 4 games, every goal that the team scores, you get $5 in bet credits. And I was actually thinking about throwing it on Gonzalo Ramos because I think this is one maybe Portugal scores a few goals, and either way, if he doesn't score, I still get my bet credits, and if he does score, that's a nice plus 210, as you said, some big value. But hopefully he starts. Obviously, we won't know if Ronaldo fast talks his way into that lineup.
Or his sister gets in there. How about this? So here's the sports mall prediction for France, England. France 3-1. How about that? Sports mall coming through.
It really went out there. That's a tough one for me to call. Personally, I think that's the toughest on the board.
Look, to me, Manchester United plays Real Betis at 12 on Saturday. Just another practice scrimmage game with their backups again. So I'll watch that. But this game here, man, this is a final. That's the thing. The thing with like France, when they won the World Cup, every game for them was like a final. They played. They played Argentina in the round of 16, but they played Uruguay in the quarterfinals. Belgium, who was that was the final. Because that was just a heavyweight match in France.
That was when they were good.
Yeah, TD got the goal, and it's just whoever won that game was going to win, and then obviously Croatia. But now this is they got to play England, then they got to play probably Portugal, then they got to play Brazil. If France wins this tournament and goes back to back in World Cups and with the Nations League in 2021. But I mean, you could start making a case that it's the best team ever. It's crazy if they run the table and win this tournament through England, then Portugal, and then Brazil, or whoever's in the final. I mean, that would be amazing.
Yeah, and that's with a lot of their key players out too.
Yeah, think about that. Pogba, no Conte, no Karim Benzema, the Ballon d'Or winner. No Teo Hernandez, who got injured in the first 5 minutes of the first match. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, who the players they're missing in this squad, it's crazy. I mean, for me, this is the bet. Harry Kane at plus 190, but Kylian Mbappe is plus 155 to score. This dude scores every game. He's automatic. Giroud is plus 245. I mean, I don't know. If France is scoring in this game and multiple goals, Kylian Mbappe is getting one of them. To me, at plus 155, I already have Mbappe to win the Golden Boot. I have him all over the place. But, in this game, to me, I mean, that's him to score at plus 155 might be better value than France to win or England to win.
Yeah, he's hungry for goals. He's their guy. Now I know he was practicing on a different field, but I don't know. I think he's fine. They said he wasn't dealing with an injury. I don't think there's going to be any problems with him.
Earlier this week, blah, 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 blah. I think they just did it to mess with the English press.
Yeah, Foxy was really all over that yesterday in the comments. Mbappe might not play, but
because there's no chance in the world Mbappe doesn't play in this game. Mbappe is 100% playing this game, and he's 100% scoring in this game. Foxy's England is going to feel the wrath. They're going to play Kyle Walker in this game just to try to shut him down because he's the fastest guy in Walker's super fast. So, but maybe they move him out to the right then. And then he's got to go at Luke Shaw. And Luke Shaw is not the fastest guy in the world. He's pretty fast for a big guy, but he ain't the fastest guy in the world. So Um, it's going to be interesting to me. I'm still I'm not backing down from France making the final. I picked them before the tournament to make the final. I picked Brazil before the tournament to make the final. There's no reason for me to switch now. I don't think England is. I just think their midfield. I think he's going to play. When you see the lineup, Bellingham, Rice, Henderson. He's going to play Henderson, Saka, Kane, and Foden. He's not going to play, Rashford, who can get at them. He's not going to play. He's going to try to be. How Southgate's going to be cautious, and it could be to their detriment. You can't be cautious, I think, in this game against France, because France isn't going to be. You know how France is going to play. They're going to be, Tuchmani and Rabiot. Rabiot is going to be cleaning up everything, and pushing the ball forward. He's got a lot of size. Obviously Giroud is going to be there. I like this France team.
In that last match, I thought they ran their entire attack through Griezmann. He was like the guy I noticed, and I actually noticed a very interesting strategy they used, because in the first half they were running it. They were running every single play down the left with Mbappe. Literally, they were like just burning them, and then so we get to halftime and we come out. Obviously, they're gonna make their adjustments. So we're getting killed on the left side there. We gotta we're getting killed on the right side there. We gotta protect that. And then what do? They don't run a single play down there. They ran the rest of the second half through Dembele on the other side.
And then what happened in the 70th minute? Mbappe's in it, like, you couldn't have been in any more space. He gets the ball, and it was crazy when they showed it. The announcers were saying, like, the defenders played it perfectly because they wanted him to curl the ball around them into the far post. And he's just and just blasted it into a postage stamp at the near post. And just that. And then the third goal was ridiculous. I mean, the second goal, he couldn't have hit it any better. It was just unbelievable. And then the third goal was ridiculous too. I mean, he's just on like a different planet at this point. He's so much better than everybody else. If they win this game, if they get to the final, I think he's probably he'll win the Golden Boot. But he's also the favorite now for the Golden Ball as well. So, he's just announced himself. Last time, he's the youngest goal scorer since Pele, first teenager since Pele. Now he's the guy's just the best player on the planet. And it's just ridiculous how good he is and how talented he is. And the difference for me in that game is, the squads are pretty similar, but Mbappe is just better. I think Giroud and Kane are pretty similar, which is kind of blasphemous to say a little bit, but Kane hasn't been scoring. Giroud has. Dembele and Saka. The midfield's kind of cancel out the defense, whatever. One team has Mbappe, and the other team doesn't, and I think that's a difference.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. Like France is the side I think will beat England, but it's just I don't like the line. The value is with England at a plus 200. I actually can't believe how. But that just goes to show you. I mean, they know France is the better team.
Yep. Are you watching any of this football game at all?
Yeah, I haven't really been keeping track. What is it? I got it on in the thing. I think it's 16-3.
Yeah, the Rams are just.
Baker Mayfield actually played tonight. I don't know how you throw him out there. You pick him up on
89 yards. We were talking about this earlier. How I feel bad for him because, they went to the playoffs. He played last year injured, and he could have just been like, nah, I'm going to shut it down. But he's not like that. So he's like, he played through it to his detriment, but, to help the team. So then they get rid of him, and he goes to Carolina, and they put him in, and they just like got rid of everybody around him. And he's just like, all right, whatever, I'm going to go. So then they cut him because the they stink, right? So he goes to the Rams. He signs like about 10 minutes ago, and the coach is like, "You're playing today," and he's not going to say no, but he doesn't know any of the plays. Like, so, like, I don't understand what he's doing. Like, the fact that he's 7 for 15 for 89 yards, like he's been sacked 3 times. But like the fact that he's completed any passes at all, not knowing any of the plays, to me is like ridiculous. Like, how do you put him out? But he's not gonna say, no, I'm not going out there. Like, of course he's gonna go out there. He's Baker Mayfield. So he's been in like these like terrible situations for like 3 teams in a row, and he always looks terrible. And like when he's healthy, he's not. He's not bad. But
Yeah, people seem to forget he was good in his first 2 seasons, and then he started to get injured. And everybody wants to chalk up last year to just he's bad when he was playing with a shoulder harness the entire time.
I mean, and like half the other quarterbacks in the league would have been like, "I'm not playing," but he said, he was just like, "No, I'm gonna play," and people slated him for it, and I'm just, I just don't think that's fair, to be honest. But it is what it is. I mean, he's getting paid a lot of money, so you can't complain too much. But I just don't think. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, yeah, how do you put him out there? Oh, he gives us the best. You're not even trying. Like that just tells me they weren't even trying to win. Like they don't even care. They don't.
You know what? It just tells me he has such a lack of confidence in every quarterback that's not Matt Stafford there. Sean McVay basically said, I see something in Baker. I like him. I know it's not going to be a great game if we put him out there, but he's better than what we got is basically what Sean McVay is trying to say in my eyes.
Yeah, that's so bad. I can't even believe that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel for him because, like, I think he's better than a lot of the flack he gets, and I want to see him do well. I'm a little pissed off he went to the Rams because I'm a Cardinals fan, and the last thing I want to do is root for the Rams. But yeah, I think Sean McVay might do some good for him because obviously McVay wanted him for a reason. Yeah, that wasn't an accident, just going to pick him up like that. But at the same time, I think Baker. I think to throw him out there in this kind of situation, like you picked him up, you claimed him on Tuesday. He literally had to fly to LA. He gets there, meets the team on Wednesday, and you're playing Thursday night, so you don't even have practice on Wednesday. It's just a walkthrough. Like, how the hell did you even get out there?
Yeah, it's. I mean, he's just like out there drawing like plays in the sand. I mean, it's just like, come on, like
it's probably just like out routes, slant routes, whatever.
I'm not. I had it. It was on in the background at the party, but like it's just like, come on, man. Like it's not really fair. But now he's 8 of 17 for 94 yards. So his quarterback rating is 64.3. But the Raiders, still in the playoffs there. The Rams are not. The Rams are in the hunt for the first pick, which maybe they could spend on a quarterback. But
what did their owners say? F them picks.
Yeah.
They had the shirt printed and everything.
He's not worried about the Rams, man. Arsenal's good now. He's trying to find a striker to replace Jesus.
Does he own Arsenal? Man, what's with all these NFL owners?
He owns the Rams. He owns the whole stadium and the whole complex. Crunky. He owns the Avalanche, the Nuggets, and Arsenal.
Wow.
Yeah. He owns a couple teams.
All right. Well, now he's I was gonna say now he's got to replace Jesus there.
Yeah. So he's not worried about the Rams at this point. They won their title, but I think I need.
And the Avalanche won their title too.
Yeah. Yep. Just need the Nuggets to win something. I just need. I need Josh Jacobs to get, I think, 15 more yards, maybe.
He's a beast. Like, he has to be probably the most underrated running back in the NFL, I think. Nobody ever talks about him. And if you look at like his past few box scores, this guy runs for like 200 yards a game.
Yep.
It's absolutely ridiculous. He's probably the biggest part of their offense, I think, and nobody talks about him, but definitely Josh Jacobs. He's the Raiders offense.
Yeah, I think that's they're still in it. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, you'll probably get those yards. They're gonna run the last. What is there? 10 minutes left.
It's
Just run
crazy. I've
it
been
away.
watching. I have the this like the thing on ESPN, and it's just like for the last like 10 minutes, I keep refreshing. It's just like there's only like 7 seconds have gone off the clock. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? But the Rams still have the ball. But yeah, it's Raiders are up 16-3. So yeah, they'll just if the Rams ever punt it back to him, he should run and keep the ball there.
It's penalties. That's what it is. It's a 1st and 20 right now.
Yeah, just punt it. Just punt it away at this point. Yeah. Now the clock's moving. Now it's 9:57. But yeah, all right. So that's pretty much our show here tonight. Thanks to we had a couple viewers here. We got our Twitch viewers and the Capital Sports Networks. I think what's tomorrow? Got to try to figure out tomorrow. I think we might. I know I have a basketball game at 9:00 tomorrow night, so I have to try to figure out what we're gonna do. If not, we'll be back on Monday, and we're going to be figuring out a new time slot for the different shows. We're going to be having some different shows come on now. So we'll try to figure out, and we're going to settle into some slots here. Once the Premier League and the Carabao Cup and all that, once the World Cup gets done, we got all these other games to talk about. We'll be in a certain slot, and we'll give you maybe some plays there. So, but all right. So where can you find their plays for tomorrow?
Yeah, pigout.com and pickadvisor.com. I'm 9-1 in the knockout stages since it started.
Damn, I had a bunch. Yeah, I had a bunch of parlays here, so that's not 9-1. That's not bad. Go follow me. Yeah, I would tell you I'm 9-1 with my picks, but my site doesn't let us pick. I got to pick college basketball games that I know nothing about. I just pick random games, and I say, what's the difference? It's a 50-50 shot, So sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. But no soccer. So if you know a soccer site that wants to have me take picks, let me know. All right. So we will see you when we see you. Just like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you'll know when we're on. All right. Talk to you later.